PowerPlayChess, brought to you in association with Kagi. I'm going to show you an absolute classic. You have to know this game. So I very much enjoyed chatting with my old friend, Grandmaster Stuart Conquest, on Thursday evening. And it's really nice to be joined by so many of you on the chat as well. So we were talking about the Hastings Congress, this traditional historic tournament on the south coast of England. And Stuart is now the chairman of the organising committee. And the Congress takes place from 28th of December this year till the 5th of January. Do check out their website, hastingschess.com. And we were also discussing this book, The Chess Battles of Hastings, Stories and Games of the Oldest Chess Tournament in the World, written by two Germans actually, Jürgen Brustkern and Norbert Wallet, who are long-standing fans of the Hastings tournament. Published by New in Chess. And I think the authors have really brought the tournament to life. If you click through on the link, you can see some sample pages. And it has that sort of typical New in Chess layout, very clean, generously spaced, lots of evocative photos. And you can get an ebook version. There's a hardback version. You can get an ebook version as well. That's what I've been looking at on my phone, actually. Very handy. So I've taken a short clip from our broadcast where we talk about one of the classic games from Hastings. So this is Wilhelm Steinitz against Karl von Bardeleben from the very first Hastings tournament in 1895. Of course, this game and many others are featured in the book. I mean, this really is a classic. If you don't know this, you've got to check this out. And if you do know it, well, it bears repeating. And actually, you know, I hadn't looked through this game for some time, and I looked at it with a computer just to kind of check, you know, how good were these guys? They were pretty good. The concluding combination is certainly sound. And it's really interesting to see that von Bardeleben put up a really ingenious defence, but Steinitz refuted it with an even more ingenious attacking idea. And it really is unique. I've never seen anything like this. That 1895 tournament, the very first Hastings tournament, featured all the greats from that time. Pillsbury won it. Then came Chigorin, Lasker, Tarrasch, and Steinitz was actually fifth. And yeah, that was the first of many Hastings tournaments. So anyway, here's the game. And I hope you enjoy it. And do click through the link below to get to the book as well.
Yeah. Don't do it again, Dan.
I don't know what I did. Anyway, listen, let's crack on and have a look at this classic game. So Wilhelm Steinitz, or as it's written here, William Steinitz. I don't know. Maybe when he went to the States, he became William. Against Kurt von Bardeleben. Now, you were saying something interesting about von Bardeleben earlier.
Yeah, well, I just checked this game down, a little bit of context about this game, because the game, of course, is very well known. It's a classic, I mean, and deserves to be. And people might think, you know, von Bardeleben, you know, who is he? You know, maybe he was a kind of a pushover or just a weak player or something. No, not at all. In the company of this tournament, he was certainly a strong player. And he even, at this point, Dan, this was round 10 of the tournament. It was a big tournament, many players. Plenty of rounds, and this was round 10. So they'd played 9 rounds before this game. And Kurt von Bardeleben, here who's playing the black pieces, he was in a tie for sort of second or third place. He had 7.5 out of 9 at this point. Whereas Steinitz only had 50%. He just lost his last 3 games, Steinitz, before this round. You know?
Right.
So a bit of context to this great game is that really Steinitz was not the underdog, but certainly he wasn't in good shape at all. So there you go.
Stuart, I'm just going to flick through these first few moves. So it's this crazy gambit line that starts with knight takes e4, of course. Ever played this one?
I haven't played this one, actually, no.
It's absolutely mad. Recently, I mean, it didn't go like this, but recently this one has been revived, and not bishop g5 is kind of the old move, but actually. I think it was Jordan van Foreest played rook f4 here. Or was it Aronian? Wow. One of the two. which of course is a computer suggestion.
Okay.
It's not so stupid.
Hmm.
Anyway, the game didn't go like
I've
that.
seen this.
Let's bash on because I want to get to the kind of critical position. And actually, this is already a bit dubious for black.
Okay.
As we can see, the black king's in the middle. Here's where I'd like to pause the game. I can see I've got some fantastic comments on the chat here. I've got Witcher86 says that he visited the town called Battle, where the actual battle 1066 was fought, and the Abbey Museum during the tournament. As a history fan, it was very cool. I've visited the battle and the site of the battlefield, and it is fantastic, I have to say. I've really enjoyed it, and you can see exactly how the strategy of both sides, with the Saxons on the top of the hill and the Normans trying to fight up. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, I mean, I agree. Witcher 86, that's a great one.
And obviously a pivotal moment, Dan, in English history. Totally. British history.
It's changed English, changed British history. That is the date in English history, 1066, of course. Changed the language.
Right. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah. There we are. Yeah. So yeah, we don't eat cows. We eat beef. That sums it up.
Because of that 1066.
Exactly. Yeah, the Anglo-Saxon peasants were still looking after the cows. The Normans came in. They took the cows, and when they ate it, they ate beef. There we are.
On mange du bœuf.
On mange du bœuf. Exactly. So here we go. We have Bella Glavi says Queen E2, which of course was the move that Steinitz played, and it's a good move. This is a typical situation where we're pinning the knights and the king is stuck in the middle. So Queen E2, of course, looks like a really natural move. In fact, I was looking at this game today and looking at it with modern eyes, i.e. computer, with a computer. I cheated. And actually, the computer thinks that Queen A4 check is the best move. And if C6, then Queen B4, because this is just incredibly strong, because if the Queen goes back, then I think we can just take here and play Rook E1. That's end of game. And if Queen D7, then Queen B4, and this is even stronger because we're simply hitting both these. So
interesting.
It's you've won a pawn and you have the attack. But anyway, Queen E2 played, and we'll get to the critical moment. And again, the computer thinks that Rook D1 was better. But anyway, right. I'm going to leave everyone. Here's the next position. So White to play again. What did Steinitz play here? But it's so great that Hastings has this tradition from 1895 and this run of tournaments. And I mean, Kevin was asking which world champions have never played at Hastings.
Well,
it's easier to say which ones didn't play.
That's right. I mean, well, Bobby Fischer nearly came to Hastings. He nearly played,
really?
By the way.
Really?
Young Bobby. Yeah, he didn't come. He never played, but he was. I gather that it was sort of left a bit too late. He was sort of maybe on his side procrastinating, and the organizers. He was invited. He was very welcome to come, and it was just too late. I think by the time he said yes, it was too late. They'd invited someone else or something. But and then Karpov came.
Yeah, well, let's go through. Steinitz played, Lasker played, Capablanca. Alikin, Botvinnik, Botvinnik. I missed out Over.
Yeah.
I mean, Over won the tournament, of course. Botvinnik.
And then Smyslov, Tal, all those guys came.
Smyslov, Tal, Spassky, Karpov. Kasparov never played.
No, and that's where it's sort of as far as it gets to Karpov, really.
Yeah. But that's an amazing record.
Still, come on.
We've got Bella Glavi, Mario Brunsteiner, and Chess Demystified have all suggested D5. Well done, everyone. And Yamil in Paraguay as well.
Thematic move, Dan, D5.
Beautiful move. Breaking open the position and then this is, I mean, now it's absolutely beautiful. And we have, I can look at my T-shirt, the famous Octopus Knight
Ah.
on E6. We can see it there. Octopus Knight. There we go. This beautiful piece. And I'm just going to get through to the next critical moment. Knight G5. So obviously a check and looking at the queen. So the king has to come back here. Right.
Yep.
And here is where something really remarkable happens. So over to you, everyone. I'll ask the chat again. What did Steinitz play now? So, Stuart, you were involved a little bit in... There's this book that came out in 2022, I believe, called Battles of Hastings.
Correct, yeah, or even last year, 2023. That's right, yeah. It first came out in German. It's by two German authors, Jürgen Brustkern, he's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he's, I wouldn't say he's the principal author, but I think it was his sort of his baby. I mean, his sort of project, really. And then a colleague of his, Norbert Wallet,
Yeah.
who I don't know personally.
I've met him, actually. Yeah, he's...
You know Norbert? Okay.
He's a journalist in Germany, yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. And so they sort of collaborated on this lovely book. It's all well, it's sort of the subtitle, if you like, is Stories and Games of the Oldest Chess Tournament in the World. It's published by New in Chess, and I did help with some of the proofreading and just to sort of polish up some of the text. And listen, it's full of stories, it's full of games, highlights, including the one that we're looking at now, and the whole history of the Congress, what it says from this event, 1895, right up to a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a great read.
I mean, I was looking through the book this afternoon. Really nice book, very nicely produced, lovely photographs. And lots of people are suggesting, well, I'm switching back to the game. Rook takes E7. Yeah, fantastic move. So if...
But the thing is, Dan, I have to say, sorry, that black also has a great defense here.
I mean, unbelievable defense. Unbelievable. Because, okay, first of all, we should just say that if queen takes rook, then rook takes rook. So white is just winning a piece. And if king takes, then there's a big check here. And, for example, this. And the queen drops. I mean, basically everything goes with check. I think this is a really nice variation, actually. Queen d6. But this is incredible. I wonder if Steinitz had realised what was happening now. Because von Bardeleben played king f8. And now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces on priest. And of course, rook takes c1 is serious. So this is incredible.
I wonder, Dan, if maybe von Bardeleben, maybe he thought he'd tricked Steinitz into this variation a little bit, sort of because king f8 and suddenly, is white losing material or something?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
So what did Steinitz play now? This is where it starts to get absolutely mad. Oh, Kevin makes an interesting point, actually, Stu. Gukesh could be a... Excuse me. Hang on. Gukesh could be a world champion who's played at Hastings.
Ah, I see.
What year did he play?
I don't know, actually. Off the top of my head, I can't say. But
actually, maybe Kevin could tell us. Kevin, when did Gukesh play in Hastings? But that's good.
Well, if the next world champion has played at the Congress, yeah.
Bella Glavi says knight h7. No, not here. Be careful. Chess Demystified says the mad rook. Yes, rook f7 check. Well done. An amazing move. So again, if queen takes, then we can flick in rook takes check. So the king came here, and now again this extraordinary move.
There's nothing like this game, actually.
No,
there's really nothing like it.
Well, nothing I've seen anyway. Okay. So I think I'm just going to say the next move. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time. Rook g7. So again, if king takes, then queen takes queen check. If queen takes, then rook takes rook. So king h8, and now rook takes h7. And I mean, this is unbelievable. And here, von Bardeleben resigned. So once again, if queen takes rook, then rook takes rook check, and that wins. And if king g8, then rook g7. I mean, again, the rook returns. But this time, it's different, because if king f8, this one. And that's winning. And if king h8, there's this one. Basically, it's all with checks. And actually, we're back to...
This is your variation from before.
Exactly, yeah. We got there in the end. I mean, this is just... as you said, I mean, it's unique, I think.
Yeah, I think
it seems to me.